It's time for the final power rankings of the MLB season. The last month is here. We're in September. We're in the last, 20, 30 games of the season? It's almost over. And this is the final push for teams to try and make the playoffs if you're on the fringe, and to lock up that division if you're one of the powerhouses. So I'm gonna go through every single team in Major League Baseball, rank them, power rankings 1 through 30, give you my thoughts and opinions on them, how they're doing, where they're going, and of course, I wanna know what you guys think. Down in the comment section below, it's the final power rankings of the year. Let me know your top 5 teams in Major League Baseball. Drop a like on the video if you did enjoy it. Really does help support the channel, as well as subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the content coming at you the rest of the season. Drop me a follow on my social media, GiraffeNeckMarc, links in the description to everything, and let's get going into this power ranking. So at the number 30 spot, we've got the Baltimore Orioles. They're just the worst team in baseball. It used to be the Diamondbacks, now it's the Orioles. They just have an inability to win games. There's not a whole lot of talent over there in Baltimore. They went also on a crazy historic losing streak. Bad baseball. Call up Adley, please. Number 29, the second worst team in baseball, the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks are also just really bad. There's not a whole lot great going on there. Ketel Marte's still the man, but outside of him, there's just not a whole lot to care about in Arizona. Number 28, the Texas Rangers. Once they got rid of Joey Gallo and Kyle Gibson, it was tough for this team to be competitive. While they're not playing like the absolute worst baseball, they're still one of the weakest teams in the league, and that's why they're at 28. And then 27, kind of wrapping up the bottom dwellers, the absolute worst of the worst, got the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Pirates are just bad. There's not a whole lot of MLB talent there besides Brian Reynolds, Brian Hayes. It's been rough in Pittsburgh this season. Number 26, again, they're just a little different than those other 4 teams because, well, it's the Washington Nationals and they have Juan Soto. Juan Soto is just one of the best players in baseball, maybe the best hitter in the league. He's on another level, but they've got weak spots at every other position. It seems like the young guys are starting to show a little promise with Keibert Ruiz, Josiah Gray, but this Nats team is just not that good. Number 25, easily the most disappointing team in all of baseball this year, it's the Minnesota Twins. Who would have thought that they would continue to be this bad for an entire season? I mean, they sold Jose Barrios, which ended up being a pretty decent trade, but yeah, this Twins team, probably time to start that rebuild here and use those young prospects they have to their advantage. Number 24, keeping in the AL Central, the Kansas City Royals. The Royals just aren't very good. The most exciting thing about this team is that farm system. They've got some names down there. I can't wait to see Bobby Witt Jr. come up, but right now, at the major league level, the offense isn't that good. The pitching is definitely not that strong. Their bullpen's okay. I just don't like Mike Matheny as a manager either. It's not that smart. Number 23, the Chicago Cubs. It was going to be really hard for them to be very good because they dismantled that team. It's Wilson Contreras and Ian Happ. That's about it. No Bryant, no Rizzo, no Baez. Kyle Hendricks on the pitching side, no Craig Kimbrell. They're like somewhat competitive, but no one's scared of the Cubs by any means. Number 22, the Miami Marlins. I think that they are one of the better of the worst teams here, which is why I have them at number 22. The pitching is loaded. We know about how talented that rotation can be. Sandy Alcantara is just so talented, one of the most underrated pitchers in the league. Trevor Rogers is coming back. Pablo Lopez has been good this year. They've got a lot of young talent. Edward Cabrera. The young guys, Jazz Chisholm is awesome. Lewis Brinson's also looking like a serviceable MLB player. Jesus Aguilar leading the league in RBIs, but again, they're still one of the weaker teams in the league. Number 21, the Colorado Rockies. The Rockies are interesting. The Rockies are probably the best of the worst in the National League. They're fantastic at home. They have one of the best home records in Major League Baseball. It's just once they hit the road, they have no idea what to do. German Marquez continues to be one of the most underrated pitchers in the league. They've actually gotten some okay pitching out of guys like Antonio Senzatella, John Gray, but overall, this Rockies team just lacks that star power to get to that next level. Can't believe they didn't trade Trevor Story as well. Getting the top 20 started at the number 20 spot. One of my favorite teams to keep an eye out for here going into the future, but right now, not so much, the Detroit Tigers. AJ Hinch is the guy. He's the manager to lead them into the future, but they're still not there just yet. We saw them have a little bit of a surge at one point in like August, early August, but it's fizzled out a little bit more as the season's gone on. They got great young players. Maybe we see Riley Green, maybe even Torkelson. I doubt Torkelson gets called up, but Riley Green, I'd love to see make a call up here in September. This team is going to be scary in the future. It's just not their time yet. Number 19, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Is that even their official name anymore? I don't know. Shohei Ohtani, MVP. Fantastic. Awesome. The pitching's bad. Mike Trout, like, maybe he comes back at some point. We're seeing a little bit of Brandon Marsh, a little Joe Adell at times. Max Stassi's been really good behind the plate. Jared Walsh has cooled off quite a bit. Angels are just, they're middle of the pack. Number 18, dropping quite a bit. My favorite team, the New York Mets. The Mets have been pretty horrible. They had that rough 13-game stretch where they went up against only the Dodgers and the Giants, and they got exposed, winning very few games, not scoring any runs. And now they're getting lucky because they get to play the Marlins and the Nationals a bunch in a row. But I just don't think that this Mets team is really one of the better teams anymore. The offense I thought was going to heat up at some point, and it just hasn't. There has been a severe lack of offense from this team, and I don't know how much longer I can wait. If you're not going to hit through August, you're probably not going to hit this year, and that just seems like what the Mets problem is going to be. The pitching's been great, but no offense, you can't score if you don't win runs.
That doesn't make sense.
Number 17, just slightly ahead of the Mets, is the Cleveland Indians. They're a team we think of as having awful offense, but Ahmed Rosario's been heating up. Franmil Reyes is awesome. Jose Ramirez, those guys are hitting, and the pitching is always cash money in Cleveland. Weird that James Karinchak has forgotten how to pitch since the sticky substance ban. I mean, we know why, but the bullpen's still good. The starting rotation is still good. Middle of the pack. At the number 16 spot, I'm going with the St. Louis Cardinals. I know they've been surging of late, but I just can't be a believer in this team more so than the teams ahead of them. The offense is like, okay, it's good at times. You have Yachty who's leading them behind the plate. Goldschmidt at first has been going off. Arenado at third, great on the corners. And the outfield, you've got young talent. Carlson, Bader, O'Neill, Lars Nootbaar. There's talent everywhere on the offensive side, but the pitching just like, again, I can't get myself to get excited about Wainwright and Kwang Young Kim leading this rotation. Flaherty's back, I know, but to me, the Cardinals just feel like such an average team. 15, I'm going with the Philadelphia Phillies. Yeah, I didn't think there would be a world where I'd put the Phillies ahead of the Mets this year, but they're playing good baseball. Bryce Harper's having an MVP season. He is leading them into a playoff push, maybe for that National League East crown. While I can't understand how they're winning games because they pretty much have no pitching outside of Zach Wheeler, they are still doing it. Guys like Ranger Suarez stepping up. Ian Kennedy out of the pen. The Phillies team can hit, and if you score more runs, you'll win. 15th overall. Number 14, the surprise team I think of this year by almost everybody, it's the Seattle Mariners. The Mariners, man, this is a team I can't wrap my head around. I don't know why they're playing well. They don't really hit that well, and they don't really pitch that well, but they get W's. Abraham Toro has been a godsend since that trade where he came over from Houston. You thought a guy like Jared Kelenic would help lead them to a playoff push, but no. It's the guys you don't think of. JP Crawford's having a nice year. Abraham Toro, like I said, Seager is still consistent, very good. And they're getting some good pitching, good enough to get them some wins. Mariners number 14, America's team. Number 1, 3, 13, the Cincinnati Reds make it a late push and surprising everybody currently in the playoffs as a wild card team. The Reds have gotten insane production out of Joey Votto, Jonathan India. Eugenio Suarez still hits home runs. I mean, that has value. Jesse Winker has been good all season long. Nick Castellanos, Tyler Naquin. They're getting offense and they're getting the pitching now too. Sonny Gray is looking good. Luis Castillo at times has turned the corner. And the bullpen, while they didn't make any big acquisitions, Michael Givens, Justin Wilson, Luis Cessa have been huge additions by their play on the field. The Reds have been looking really good. Oh yeah, and Wade Miley. I almost finished this up without talking about Wade Miley. He's been unbelievable this year. I don't know how, I don't know why. Doesn't make sense, especially in that ballpark, but Wade Miley has been great. Number 12, first place team in the National League East, the Atlanta Braves. Who would have thought that the Braves losing guys like Acuna and Ozuna would help them be better? I don't know what it is, but they went out and made moves. They grabbed Duvall, they grabbed Peterson, Eddie Rosario, Jorge Soler. They got Richard Rodriguez for their bullpen. This team is playing really good baseball. Freddie Freeman, MVP candidate as always. Austin Riley is having an unbelievable season. Ozzie Albies down with an injury a little bit, but him, Dansby Swanson been playing well, and the pitching has been good enough that has allowed them to get into first place in this division. The Braves are a playoff team probably. Didn't look like it at first, but looks like my predictions from the start of the year are going to do pretty well in the National League East. And then just missing out on the top 10 at number 11, I got the Oakland A's. The Oakland A's are slowly dropping on my rankings. They're just not playing that great baseball. 4-6 in their last 10. They're playing some better teams than they're losing, while a guy like Frankie Montas is trying to carry this pitching staff on his back. I just don't know if they have the starting pitching to get there, as well as the offense. While Matt Chapman's starting to heat up, everyone else seems to be getting a little bit cold. I still think they're a very good team, but 3 back in the wild card, 5.5 back in the AL West, it's looking tough for the Athletics to get into that playoff scenario. Getting the top 10 started at the number 10 spot, the Toronto Blue Jays. The Blue Jays just keep hitting. They keep on mashing. Vlad Guerrero Jr., Marcus Semien is like top 5 in the league in home runs. Who saw that coming? You? No, you're a liar. Nobody saw that coming. They will just mash at every single position on the field. George Springer's been back. He's been great as well. And then they've got Robbie Ray, who Robbie Ray has put himself in the AL Cy Young candidate talks. He's carried this pitching staff. While additions of Brad Hand and Brios haven't gone as planned, the Blue Jays are still a very good team, and I think a top 10 team in baseball. Number 9, dropping quite a bit, the San Diego Padres. Padres have been struggling. The pitching, it's kind of let them down a little bit. Joe Musgrove has been good, but Yu Darvish has looked horrendous. Blake Snell is all over the place. He'll be good, he'll be bad. The bullpen's still strong, but for some reason, something's not clicking in San Diego. I don't know what it is. They're currently half a game out of the wild card. That's wild to me. They probably still will make the playoffs. I still think they should. They're still very good, but they keep dropping and dropping as the season goes on, and I didn't expect this to come. It's like they got caught with their pants down when they didn't get Scherzer. Number 8, I've got the Boston Red Sox. Surprise team this year. No one expected them to be this good, I think. One of the stronger teams in the league. Getting Chris Sale back is definitely helping. That is going to be huge for their rotation, but the bullpen is still shaky. You got to stop pitching Hansel Robles. The offense at times will be hit or miss. They also got hit with a little COVID, which hurt them, so I think the Red Sox are still fine. I still think they're going to make the playoffs. They're a top 10 team in the league. They're very good. And then number 7, just slightly better than the Red Sox, I think it's the New York Yankees. The additions of Rizzo and Gallo have been huge. They've got Kluber back. Tyone's been pitching well. Friggin' Nestor Cortez has been a great spot starter. Garrett Cole might be the AL Cy Young. He's been filthy. Bullpen great as always. They're getting offense. They're getting defense. They're playing good baseball. The Yankees are dangerous. This is a good team. This is the team everyone expected them to be. And then just missing on the top 5 coming at number 6, I'm going with the Milwaukee Brewers ever so slightly. The Brewers are so good. good. So good, but I have him at 6. The pitching is unbelievable. Woodruff, Burns, Peralta even. And then even guys like Adrian Hauser and Eric Lauer have been great. The bullpen, we don't need to talk about it. It's just probably the best bullpen in baseball. I mean, they're getting use out of Hunter Strickland. Nobody wanted that guy. And then offensively, Willy Adames, still unbelievable. Luis Urias hitting for power. Yelich, while incredibly disappointing, still has that value. Obviously, Garcia's been going off. Omar Narvaez still good behind the plate. I mean, there is some good stuff going on in Milwaukee. This is a scary team you don't want to match up with in the playoffs. Now we get the top 5 starting. Coming in at number 5, Southside Chicago, the White Sox. Tony La Russa's got this team playing well. They are one of the strongest teams in baseball, and they are led by their offense and their pitching. They're just all around very good. Giolito and Lance Lynn on the IL, but you got Cease who stepped up. Rodon, who's been sick this year. Even Keuchel as like their 5 starters really good. While he has a 5 ERA, like that's a guy who pitch a couple innings and be very useful. The bullpen, Liam Hendricks, Craig Kimbrell, Aaron Bummer, Garrett Crochet, Michael Kopech. You gotta love what this team's doing. And then at the plate, Grandal's back. Jose Abreu continues to mash. Tim Anderson on the IL, but Tim Anderson, great. Yohan Moncada's hitting. Andrew Vaughn, Louis Bob is back. You got Eloy. It's a scary good team. The White Sox are really good. Number 4, Houston Astros, who is a team that I've been saying all year long, you gotta be worried. Once I started to realize like, wait, this team's sick. They're dangerous, and they've shown it this year. It just took me like a month to figure that out. But we're here now. Number 4 team in baseball. I mean, offensively, Yuli Gurriel, Altuve, Correa, Bregman, Brantley, Tucker, Jordan Alvarez, all unbelievably good, all above average hitters, all strong. And then you've got guys like Aledmys Diaz, Chas McCormick, who are also playing well. Everyone hits in Houston, and they're no longer banging the cans. And then pitching-wise, you thought, oh, no Verlander. Well, Lance McCullers Jr. stepped up. Luis Garcia's looked 6. Framber Valdez is so back and so good. Odorizzi's been good. Urquidy. They haven't missed Greinke or Verlander. And then the bullpen. Getting Graveman was big. Ryan Presley, one of the most underrated relievers in the league. Blake Taylor, Ryan Stanek, Christian Javier. They're just so good. They're so sick. Yimi Garcia's been good. They get production out of everybody. For the 3rd best team in Major League Baseball, heading to LA, the Los Angeles Dodgers. At the time of recording this, they're technically in 2nd in the NL West. Whoever's in 1st in that division will get the upper hand, and right now it's the Giants. So the Dodgers come in right below them at number 3. All-stars all around the field. Ace is on the mound. The bullpen, everybody's good. Phil Bickford, Justin Brule. They will pull guys literally out of their butts, and they will play incredibly well. The Dodgers are beasts. The Dodgers are so good. Probably the best team in baseball on paper. Actually, not probably, definitely. Like, you added Trey Turner and Max Scherzer, the Mookie Betts, Max Muncy, Corey Seager, Justin Turner, Will Smith, AJ Pollock, Cody Bellinger. Yeah, I know he stinks, but he's still Cody Bellinger. Pujols is sick. Pujols has been unbelievable. This team's unreal. Number 2, just missing on the number 1 spot. I'm going with the San Francisco Giants. Again, just a slight edge over the Dodgers. The Giants still make no sense. I mean, they do. They put their players in advantageous situations. They're Rays West. They play smart. They use what they have, and they give their team every single advantage possible. Also helps that Buster Posey's having a renaissance. Brandon Belt, Brandon Crawford, it's just like unreal. Having the best season of his career at age 34. And then they're getting production out of Darren Ruff, Lamont Wade Jr., Austin Slater, Evan Longoria, Mike Yastrzemski, Alex Dickerson, Donovan Solano. The list goes on and on. The offense, they've been clicking on all cylinders. And then pitching-wise, Gausman has had a Cy Young caliber season. Tony Disco's been great. Johnny Cueto and Wood back on the IL, but they've been good. Logan Webb is legit. And the bullpen has been lights out. They have like 6 guys with an ERA under 3. It's unbelievable, this team. It's so crazy. But to me, coming back at the number 1 spot, taking it over, is the Tampa Bay Rays with an 85-50 record. Slightly worse than the Giants, but this Rays team's so crazy good. They lost Tyler Glasnow, and it just didn't matter. It didn't matter because the way that they perform and the way that they handle this team, they just win games. I mean, Shane McClanahan's really good. I really like Shane McClanahan. Luis Patino, really good. While their numbers in the ERA department might not be great, they put this team in winning scenarios. They trade Diego Castillo and they don't care. Colin McHugh's been untouchable. Andrew Kittredge has been untouchable. Peter Fairbanks, really good. JP Fireisen, JT Chargois. I mean, they will just pull guys out of nowhere. Adam Conley. The pitching, you don't worry about. It's the hitting that you can maybe get worried about sometimes, but even then, Zanino, raking. Yandy Diaz, raking. Brandon Lau has 31 homers and 25 doubles this year. 228 average, but who cares? 56 extra base hits in 450 at-bats. Wander Franco has completely changed this team around offensively. Joey Wendell still smacks. Austin Meadows. Randy Arozarena is playing great again. You're getting performances out of Brett Phillips, Francisco Mejia, G-Man Choi, Nelson Cruz. The list goes on and on. The Rays are just the best team in baseball. It doesn't make sense. You don't have to agree with me. On paper, I get it. They're not. But the Rays, day in and day out, why they are the best organization in baseball and the best team in the 2021 season in my final power rankings of the year. So I'd love to know your guys' top 5 teams down in the comment section below. Where do you agree with me? Where do you disagree with me? Let me know. I'm going to be talking to people in the comments today. Drop a like on the video if you did enjoy it, as well as subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the content. Follow me on all my social media, GiraffeNeckMarc, links in the description. That includes TikTok, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and even the second channel, GiraffeNeck Gaming's back. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for following. Thank you for subbing, all that kind of stuff. You know the drill from here on out. YouTube recommends you watch this video. This is my most recent upload. Click through those if you have not yet seen them. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow for another video. Bye.